I think it's worth mentioning. One of the other benefits of going first in this matchup for White Scars is the fact that Dark Angels didn't get a pre-game move. Because often they try to use a pre-game move aggressively with their Ravenwing components if they see an option. So knowing he's not going first, Will's not necessarily going to go look for a massive land speed of flank. Because they're fast enough that they can actually start taking very acute angles, like up into the corner here. And that can be a real problem. Like even just sitting here and shooting into that ruin turn one, you're far enough away if you take out the infiltrators, that kind of thing. So it's going to give Chris a lot more board presence behind this ruin. I think he's basically going to try and stand there, take his points for banners. The other thing that's important with Oath, as I've explained to one of the guys I'm teaching Warhammer locally, is Oath is not something you don't necessarily have to hold the middle of the table to get maximum out of Oath. Oath is such an amazing passive objective scorer. For those that don't know what Oath of Omen is, it's got 3 components. They all score at the end of the battle round. So the first is if you get 1 point if you did not fall back or fail a morale check that turn. You get 2 points if you killed a vehicle or character that battle round. And you get 2 points, I believe it is, if you stand wholly within 6 at the end of the turn. Or at the end of the battle round. So going first, Chris is probably not going to go for the center unless he already has an advantage there. I don't think there's any particular reason to go for that early. He's mostly going to be looking to take the vehicle kills and everything else. I'm going to cut back to the players. I do need to readjust the camera. So give me 2 seconds dealing with that, and hopefully we can cut back to them and Chris can explain his movement and any other actions he's going through.
Yeah, also StepX will try and adjust our commentator level, so apologies for that one. We'll try and get that one fixed for you.
Yep. Oh, Chris. Mike.
Always do this today, go to the front of the dice. These guys are a little bit more forward. Okay, so I think that's worth it.
Just give Chris a moment to put his mic back on. So we're having a couple of there. We were just trying to work that out. The microphones are on batteries, so occasionally they run out at inconvenient times. I'll just cut you back to them now that seems to be sorted. And we'll see what Chris does with his shooting phase.
Yeah. Shooting. So, this squad all into there. Even with the 6, they're all hitting on 4s because of moving hands.
Yeah.
So let's start with cyclone missile launcher. So 4s re-rolling on the chapter master. And 4s, 1 wound, 23.
Cool.
3 damage.
It's AP3, right?
Yep.
Damage 3?
Yep.
Cool.
Grab cannons, 4s, re-rolling. Nice start. 4. That is 6 neg 4s.
Neg 4?
Yep.
Alright. 2 at a time. Doesn't matter where I take this, so... save, fail. Fail, so kills 1. Okay. Cool. So kills 2.
Yep. And then the cherub.
Hold on, I might pull so you can't fire the cherub.
Oh, yeah. So that's a good. So that is my turn. So no points, Josh. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you score?
Nothing yet. Post is end battle round.
Data Scry action?
Right. Yes. I get the 2 for data scry.
Cool, man. Cool.
On to you. So I'll go up to 2 CP.
Move to 4.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to be going turn 2 tactical, turn 3 assault.
You are going tactical assault? Yeah, cool. I'm in insane game most of the time, man.
Yep.
Scout, so this moves out by 18.
18, yep. And scout, get out 3, move, potentially 6.
Okay. Just have a think for a sec.
No worries.
Okay, so that was the end of Chris's turn 1. A relatively passive turn, but I think that is to be expected. Chris doesn't want to go in until about turn 3 once he gets his Assault Doctrine, because then as Space Wolves he's going to get +1 to hit in combat and double exploding 6s. So every 6 is going to be 3 hits. He's mostly setting up at this point. He also doesn't want to get too close, because that'll give Dark Angels a chance to charge onto objectives, and you don't want that. Scored 2 points for his Data Scry action, holding the 2 objectives over in the corner. He set up some banners as well, so we will see how that translates for him. And Will's obviously taking a moment to think, just consider how he wants to play the game out, and we will see how it all transpires. I hear we've been having a bit of a technical issue. I believe we've sorted that out. But please do keep us updated if there's an echo or anything. So, Sam, how do you feel? Do you know what you would do as a Dark Angels player here, or shall we attempt to play the game of Are we smarter than a WTC member?
Yeah, let's attempt that game of Are we smarter than a WTC member? What is roll 4-ups? That's always the way you have to play as Dark Angels Rise. But no, in a serious note, so obviously with the Desolation Marines, that does give Will Milton the option to have that indirect and to be able to shoot and play that relatively passive game. It's hard from here, right? So obviously Will has to raise banners on those bottom left objectives on screen, so bottom left objectives on screen, which would yeah, all good. That naturally corresponds to whatever would be bottom right, I guess, in a normal deployment for just if you want to visualize at home. Just to get there, and also I don't believe he has an apothecary, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, he might do. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
I will double check for you.
Yeah. Which makes it a little awkward, obviously, in terms of as soon as a Marine is dead, a Terminator is dead, there's no way to get back up. So, yeah, I do not see a apothecary in his list.
That is correct.
So,
no apothecary.
So yeah, that's interesting. So I think over time he will be able to pick them out, and obviously with those long fangs, eventually over time pick them out and grind it out essentially. So yeah, I'm interested to see what Will does here. I know that's not much information, but it's literally what it is.
The other important thing to note is he doesn't have to be too aggressive down here yet. He doesn't want to get 0 primary on the turn, but he does have some infiltrators taking those objectives. So even if he didn't move anything, he would be contesting Chris's primary. Even though on the stream, unfortunately, it does look like Chris has 3 objectives and there was nothing down there. Those are held and those are now still. Which is going to be very hard to keep track of, unfortunately. I have a plan for it, thankfully. Chris can be blue, and I would do maroon just to carry on the state of origin. But I don't know if it's going to show up on the objectives.
That's all right. I'm sure, Jack, you have very good illustration skills, and you could draw 5 little infiltrated people on behind the ruin, so people at home can actually see. But yeah, it looks like obviously got the land speed or tornado there, pushing out, so it's trying to get some position and get some extra stuff on the objectives, and see where we go from there. So obviously he's got the aggressors there, but there's a big forest right here, and I do not believe Space Wolves or Marines have a way to ignore the difficult ground penalty, so it's going to be very hard actually for those Marines to transverse here until later.
One of the important things to note is those land speeders are very fast. So Chris can contest OBSEC very quickly with a land speeder storm moving and scout squad payload out. That is always an option available to him. Whether or not he takes it, I don't know. I do not proclaim to be smarter than Chris, fortunately. He tends to be the premier expert locally on how to play all things, everything. The chaplain's obviously there, the aggressors are set up, they can march forward and punch with the chaplain, that can negate the difficult ground. That's a weird way to get around it. And the Skyclaws here are threatening somewhat a charge back here if they can see it, although I think Chris is quite happy to play passive. He does have shock tactics, so he's very encouraged to steal this objective. I genuinely think Chris's main objective is going to be trying to bully that every turn for 4 points.
Yeah, it's also interesting. So, also for people at home as well who haven't played against Archangels, it's probably worthwhile noting with Raven Wings, so which are all the land speeders, the bikes, as long as they stay in Devastated Doctrine, they get an extra 3 inches to their movement. And also, as a special thing, is that when they advance, they count as basically being an assault weapons, so they can just shoot at -1 hit, which allows those land speeders to shoot and move so far.
Yeah. It's the treating all weapons as assault is such a way to get extra out. Also, when they're in Devastated Doctrine, they automatically move next as Raven. So that's pretty cool as well. I'm very excited to see that. The other thing as well to keep in mind, the methodology for Codex Warfare is when you advance as a Ravenwing unit, you count as being, you treat yourself as being assault, but the weapon is still heavy. So even if you advance and you're pretending to be an assault weapon, it still counts for Codex Warfare in the Devastated. Just in case that comes up, I've seen some clarification issues in the past. So it appears that the land speeder Talonmaster? Sorry, Raven Talonmaster. I know my space controls. It appears that Talonmaster's looking. Obviously, he's a really important in this dark. That is 6 heavy bolter shots, so 6 strength 5 neg 1 2 damage shots, and 12 strength 6 neg 2 1 damage shots as well. Always hit 2s. And also picking block up. See the start of the turn. It's a really good flexible gun that I'm curious to see how Will break that into his game plan. Obviously, between these two, this is a really good time to note that they will spend a lot of time on the first couple of moves of the game. These two are going to play this game a bit like chess, whereby those first opening moves and that initial forming of battle lines is really important to how the game progresses. And they are going to be talking out a lot of options with each other, because at the end of the day, as much as this is a competitive tournament, they are practice partners, so they don't want to win the game because of something that everyone missed. So we're going to see a lot of collaboration, but also I would expect this game to get very interesting. Maybe turn to it. Do you have anything else to add, Lemon? Because I might just cut over to the players while Will's finishing his movement phase.
No, nothing up for me. Obviously, Will's taking a long time here to think and plan out what the threat range is of Chris and then how he can counter or where he needs to go. So, no, I think it's more than fair to cut it back over to the players and let the great minds speak.
Excellent.
Just outside 12. Board edges are long, yeah. Board edges are long.
Yes. Board edge. So you can definitely see them there, yeah.
Yep. Same thing.
Yep.
Come on, let's do... So just screening out there. Terminators will have there, they'll have that.
Yep, so all that screen?
Yep. Sweet. Alright, let's do some shooting. I'll first start with the Arbiter's Gaze Telemaster.
Yep.
How many you got to cover, man?
There's all but one.
Okay. So Arbiter's Gaze Telemaster.
The he ignores cover, right?
Light cover.
Like.
3 wounds.
3, and these are
AP2. Not light cover.
So let's go this guy at the front. That will kill him.
Yep.
Then I'll go Terminator. Fine.
Rinse repeat. 4 wounds.
Yep. So Terminator will be getting 2 ups against this other guy.
It's next 2.
Yep. So he's 1 up with the Storm Shield. 0 up in cover.
Checking.
So it takes 2. That will kill him. Yep.
Alrighty. Indirect. I'm going to go the 5-man unit into the spy claws.
Yep.
So, sorry. Let me look at this. I'll give you a second. Yeah, I'll do a 5-man unit into the strike. Should I split here? Yeah, no, I'll go all in. So, the base shot, just the normal. You got 6 man? Yeah? 6 man. Alright, 15 shots.
So, hitting on 3s?
Yep. Actually, sorry, I'll do the big launcher first.
Yep.
The Venger. Twos rerolling. And threes rolling once. Okay, 4 saves. Neg 1 was the indirect, 2 damage.
Yep, regular guys. So 2.
Yep. And then the other indirect. Misses. 3, 6, 7. Neg 1.
Let's go regular guy. So 4's dead, and then let's go Storm Shield. It's 1. So regular guy and Storm Shield.
The Storm Shield's dead too. Yep. Cool. Okay. The other unit, I'm going to go. Cyclones in the corner here.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, can you just hold it over them? Like. Sorry, I'm just trying to see where the -1 kicks in.
Oh, right, so the first one crosses here.
Oh, okay. The whole unit can see without taking the -1. Alright, so we'll do the 3 damage launcher there, 6 there, and 4 here.
That sounds like one too many.
No, he has, so his top gun replaces the super crack, so it's 11 guns under indirect. So, the super crack, the Vigil. 6 again. Rerolling. 3s rerolling. 1s. 3 saves.
Yep.
Neg 2, reduced by 1, so it's 1.
And 3 ups on cover. There's 2 of them, was it?
3.
Okay, so 3 up regular guys. Fine.
Yep. And then on the rest of them, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All hit. For a 10.
10, 6. So maintenance 10. So let's go. I'm on a regular guy, so I'll stay there on 3s. Takes 1. Dead. And then let's go the Storm Shield on 2s. He's fine. So just gets through 1 guy.
4 of here. Number of shots. Okay. 8.
3 ups. Okay.
4 ups.
Yeah. That squad was destined to die.
Cool, man. I don't have any other shooting.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can see. So that is my turn.
Yep,
Sorry for return. Raise the banner with Omen.
Yep, so raise the banner. You dart scrying with anyone?
I can't because the way I moved it.
Which one do you want to do there?
I'll just raise. I'll raise. Dart scryers with 2. Raise with 1. I'll do the data scry action there.
Data scry, so you get 2 points for data scry. Codex Warfare, you get...
Kill 2, just 2 points. Then raise the banner here and back 1.
No, you didn't raise the banner.
Oh, sorry, just the back 1. Apologies.
Yep. Okay, so then on to me. So I will get 8 primaries and 3 banners. Oh, sorry, for OST that round I got 3, so I didn't fall back to morale and I've got the middle. Then I'll get 8 primaries, 3 banners. Go to 3 CP.
Up to 5.
And I'll go into the tactical doctrine, as I said. Let's go for...
Work out no prints at the end, or? Yeah, okay.
I've got max plus 17 extra rules. Just for reference.
All good. They are an inch off the wall for reference. I don't know. I don't know if I did what I said.
They're doing the WTC rules thing.
They're not. Oh, they are?
I believe they are.
Oh, okay. They said they weren't using WTC after, but yeah, they're doing their own FAQ, right?
You can check. I'm
pretty sure they are. Allowing you. I'll double check.
So get some shots in there. So I'm going to put Chapter Master rerolls on these Sky Claws. I'm going to put, let's do the litany for reroll hits in combat, goes off, and bonus to charges and stuff goes off.
Yep.
Going to spend the CP to put those Sky Claws into the Assault Doctrine.
Yep. Sky Claws into Assault, yep. I wonder why.
Let's see what happens, eh? Alright, so that's all my command phase class. Okay, so I'm screen note that here, so I can't do anything with warriors. Is it all the way to the corner over here?
Infiltrators 12.
So there's not one for you there. Okay, so the melted gun guy is going to go 12 to here. And that's good.
You trying to see?
Just seeing if I can get a cheeky shot onto a Terminator with a
Yeah, probably.
melted gun. But with just him. Yeah,
Bummer.
I'm a bit clumsy like that.
I am too, so it's okay.
So you're back a little bit, back a bit there. So I'm pretty comfortable having the captain about here. 6 inches, so I'll get.
I killed one Skyclaw, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's get that going. There's a random land speeder over there, is there?
Yep.
So I think we're going to retreat a little bit. Aggressive, getting random charged. So let's go 6 is there, so I'll get a scout just as far across as he can be and still getting the O's, which is not much of a change, much of a move. And you are just outside
12. Outside 12.
Looks like a lot further than that.
Oh. Okay.
Looks like you're about 14 away.
Then I may have screwed this up. No, I'm fine where I am. I just wanted it so I could get through the wall next turn, so I can fit my base out, essentially.
Yeah. How's that looking for over your turn?
A little bit further, sorry, Pam. I'll just go slightly forward, like that.
Yeah, so that's where you are?
Yeah. Is that 12?
Okay, yeah, it's about 12 now.
Yeah, okay. So I may have moved them back slightly by accident.
I'm just going to nudge these back just a touch.
Okay, so it looks like we're just discussing a bit of movement just to fix up and play around each other's charge ranges and movement. Chris did say on the stream he didn't want his aggressors randomly charged or tapped, and that's a very valid statement because then they're not going to be able to shoot. They're okay in combat, but not against Dark Angels Terminators per se. Look, Chris is starting to set up his points. It looks like he's going to sack a Skyclaw unit to hopefully deny as much primary as he can down here. It doesn't look like it'll be all, but we shall see. He definitely wants to pick up those infiltrators, get his points with shock tactics. He's just going to stay down there in banners and hold down the line. Another reason he wants those infiltrators out is because I'm pretty confident he's got at least one of his Longfang Devastator squads in outflank. So he'll want to try and bring that in to get some grab cannon shots on an angle or a flank. What do you reckon, Sam? How do you reckon this is looking? Because it seems very passive. They're both being very pensive.
They are definitely being very passive, and they're sort of trying to figure each other out. So, for people who can't see, there is like one big block of Terminators behind that big ruin on the left-hand side, so you probably can't see it at all. There's 5 infiltrators, as you can see, little maroon coloured down there. There is obviously the Landspeeder Tornado, and there's 2 of his favourite company veteran friends. And we saw, obviously, Will Milton in his bottom of turn 1 with his indirect Desolation Marines. Was able to wound a couple of these Marines in the middle ruin there, and then up the top right there, he removed 1 squad of 5 Skyclaws. So, yeah, as Chris is trying to do, he's obviously going to use those 5 Skyclaws, try and kill, hopefully, those 5 infiltrators just sitting there, remove that obsec, score 4 on shock tactics. And now, as you can see, he's Landspeeder Storm with some of his scout buddies, positioning up there and going from that. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I am very, very intrigued to see and hear what goes on.
Yeah, and that'll also give him a nice jump start up on the primary as well. Any objective he takes off of Will here is going to give him an extra point on the tertiary, the data scry action. So we'll see how they go. Chris looks like he's just maneuvering around a little bit in defense, and hopefully we'll get to the charge phase soon, because I'm really keen to see what happens with that charge phase.
Yeah, and also I think one thing that was being mentioned before, so talking about how being like almost like inch away from the wall or being how many away from the wall. So obviously these 2 players, very WTC focused mindset. In the WTC, you can generally actually charge and basically be inside the wall for what it's worth in terms of charging. However, obviously in normal tournament play, that doesn't exist. Like, if I can't fit my model physically inside a wall. But something they just need to clarify an FAQ real quick for themselves to understand what was happening and what the intent was. And obviously a very good sign of sportsmanship there, doing the pre-measuring, saying, oh, my intent was to be this many inches away. Fantastic. So great to see that on top levels of 40k.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said about maintaining a massive degree of sportsmanship even at the top level. I mean, the entire community is very, very good with it. And it's mostly about representing exactly that. If you're going to beat someone at 40k, it shouldn't be for an underhanded tactic or anything. It should actually be a contest of skill and expression there. So I love to see players, especially at the top tier, doing exactly that. Playing sportsmanship, playing by intent. I think you should always play your games by intent. I don't really think there's ever a reason to play Gotcha Warhammer. So it's really nice to see, and I'm really curious to see how this game is evolving, because it looks like it's It looks like it's setting up, but this might also just be one of those weird games where I'm not actually sure who's meant to be the attacker at this point. I think Chris is definitely the attacker. Looks like he's just rolled his charge on.
Yes.
And
So
succeeded. Shall we cut over to them?
Yep. So let's cut over to them. Let's listen to the great minds that is.
Okay, so yep.
Transhumaning.
Yep. So let's start with the hammer. Sitting on 3s with a +1, -1. Re-rolling for the chapter master. Bit disappointing there. 4s to wound, no wounds.
Okay.
Not a good start. 3 chainsword guys, 2s. I re-roll all the non-6s. That's a bit better. 3 6s, so 6 extra hits.
Yep.
4s. Uh, 7 neg 2s.
Oh, the chainsaws. Yeah, right. 2 at a time. So Helix is 1.
Yep.
So then saves, fails, kills 1. Okay, kills 1 and 1 takes a wound.
Yep. And then the power fist. I'm going to have to re-roll all of the non-6s. This is very disappointing. 2 dead. Neg 4.
Oh, yeah. Come on. They're not obsec, are they?
No.
Cool.
And then I will... Very disappointing. The average number of hits between the Thunderhammer and the Power Fist is 9.
Yep.
I got 4.
Oh, I know what's happening. Cool, man. I'm sitting you back real quick. Put the clock on me if you want to. 2s. 1 miss. 4s. Cocks. 3.
3. Go on the shields. All good?
Cool, man.
So I've just got you wrapped this guy here.
Yep. You've killed 3. I'm leadership 8. So
On 6.
I have enough CP. I'm actually not going to risk it.
Yep.
I'd rather keep the point.
Yep. Big deal there. So I don't get shock tactics. OS is at the end of the battle round. I get 2 bonus again.
Yeah, man. That is, you got 3 O's in the battle round, shock 0. Okay, cool, man. Across to me, my friend.
Over to you, you'll get 8 primaries and 1 banner.
Yep, so 8 primary,
Yep.
1 banner.
I'll go to 3 CP.
Cool, man. Alrighty, let's see what I can do. I'm happy they lived.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate. That
Yeah.
I would have felt sort of like a little ahead.
Yeah.
But I feel a little behind.
Yeah. I don't think you're behind. I think me misplacing Terminator slightly, that brings you back into line. So didn't expect you to pick up 3 with just the grab shooting over that.
Yeah, a lot of shooting.
It is, man. Okay. Did you tag the splitter as well or not? Okay, cool. Just checking.
Needed a bigger charge for that.
Okay. So just for this man, I'm not trying to be pain. I think he would have to be in corner because currently he'd be on my model. I don't. So
We'll go in there.
yeah, cool. All right, sweet.
All right, so that was a huge charge phase for Will, funnily enough. As you probably would have heard, Chris spent 2 CP to put those Skyclaws into all 3 doctrines, which would have given him his double exploding 6s a turn early. And unfortunately failed to kill 5 infiltrators through transhuman, only killing 3 of them, which has denied him shock tactics and also denied him knocking Will by 4. So that's potentially a 9-point swing in a single action based on those infiltrators surviving. So as they were discussing, again, they're doing our jobs for us, which I thoroughly appreciate. Between the misplacing of Terminators and stuff.
Big whiff there from the Skyclaws, unfortunately. 9-point swing.
Don't worry, I just saw it.
Yeah. I mean, it's swingy. Double exploding 6s. Yeah, who knows?
Just had our side analyst Chris come in and explain the situation once again. So currently, Will has 2 points for Codex Warfare. He has 2 points for bonus, 1 point for banners, which should put his scoring in line with what's here for the next 2. So he should be on 13. And Chris.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, apologies, Jack. Yeah, just double check the primary though. So obviously, I think Will also mentioned at the top of turn 1, he actually messed up a little bit in terms of doing the mission action. He didn't get to bonk the button because he didn't have enough activations. So I don't know if he did get the alternative primary on top of 1, but we'll double check that closer. And yes, even top players can blame dice. I mean, obviously, Chris isn't salty or anything like that, but he talked about like the average is 9 hits and he got 4, so obviously a bit unlucky there. And look, it happens to the best of us. It's good to recognize where maybe the averages or where things should go well, but they didn't. But obviously he's not going to blame it at all, and he's going to do his very best to come back. And as Will Milton said, like if it went well, like Chris would probably be ahead, but now Will Milton feels in a bit more favorable position, but he still made mistakes in the sense of the Terminator's mispositioning.
Exactly, and it's also really important to notice, as Chris said when he dropped the scorecard to me, double exploding sixes is a fickle mistress because you are relying on scoring the sixes to get that average. If I can set aside some math time, basically when one of them is 3, it comes down to a deviation game. If you roll sixes, your average skyrockets. So it's actually a higher average, but a lower expected value. It's more swingy, which is what we saw there. It swung low, and when it swings low with the double exploding sixes, it swings a lot more, far more dramatic. So that's what we saw there. Chris is going to keep fighting. I don't think either player is really comfortable based on that action. I think there's still plenty more game left in this round, and that's a really important thing to note. So as we move on with Will's turn 2, I'm just going to hand back the scorecard. Do you have anything else to say, or should I switch over to Will as he begins to move?
Let's switch it over to Will Milton himself.
Too easy.
Take 1? Yep, 21, more than enough for him. He's just going to jump across to here.
Yep. Yeah, so the one room about just going to banner or missions, you went for missions.
Yeah. Reminding myself of that, this land speed is going to just tuck over onto the point.
Yep.
And it's going to do the action.
Yep.
Actually, the captain can just fucking do it now.
Well, someone's got a banner, someone's got a mission action.
Yeah, correct. So I'll use the captain to banner, I'll move him in a sec, and then he's going to action.
Yep.
I'll correct it in a second, but yeah. I don't want you coming in here though. You will fit there. This banner's a little bit big.
He can be down the bottom though, it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's a WTC rule that decorative elements don't count. I am very happy to apply that whenever.
Cheers, man. Appreciate that. So yeah, just so that when they charge in, they can flip in and he can protect them. He can give them -1 that way, and have to be here for -1. I might just slide 1 that way because I'm not. Get the grab coming though. That's a bit hairy. Still the same charge distance there, yeah?
I might have budged back. I budged back about another half turn.
I'm probably just going to stay in the same spot then because I don't need to come forward at that point. So yeah, the banner will just go so that they can be within 6 there.
Yep.
And he's screening kind of out to here, and then there. You get 1 model there, but then like past that you won't get seen in the crate. Phobos 12's covering the back.
So did you say I can fit 1 model?
You fit 1 model, that's it.
Behind the crate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Oh, actually, sorry, I have to bring this back slightly further. Mind if you dice again, sorry, man. Good idea. Oh, they're Dark Angels too, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Yep, I needed a friend who played in 7th edition to fill out my grave.
Yeah, okay. What I might do, just to make this easier, is I'm going to bring the Talon Master back here.
Yep.
And he'll just, these guys go slightly forward. And he'll just touch the edge of the point there.
Yep.
Because 21 is to...
So we can get to about that corner.
It's still pretty far away. Alright, I might just have to give these up, so yeah, I'll just bring them up so they're screening you there.
Yep, so they'll sort of, you'll get the whole lot.
Yeah, and then he'll just come back, so he just blocks it. Apologies about the muck around. Cool, that's they're fine, they're staying still. This Telemaster, not much to shoot at the moment. So the scouts have how many melters, sorry mate?
2 melters in each scout squad.
2 melters. So, like within 3 of the Desolator unit?
Yep.
And he's just coming across so I can see this speeder here.
Yep.
And I'll just...
And is that, yeah, that's Arby's
Pardon?
case. Yep.
Yep.
Just checking which one it was.
Cool, man. So yeah, bannering, actioning. I already got a banner up there.
Sorry, I don't think you've put your speeder on the objective.
What I'll do, I'll just use the Telemaster so it's safe.
So, Sam, I don't know if you caught that quickly, but it appears one of your land speeders is defective. The interesting part here is I got a clarification on how the bonus worked and everything. Obviously, there was a bit of confusion as to whether or not Will had his bonuses and whatnot. As it turned out, he indeed had his bonuses, so that was all good. What he did instead was took the mission action instead of planting a banner, so that's what he's doing this turn. He's doing an action land speeder and planting a banner with the character back. Just so that everyone's clear, that does mean the score does reflect reality, and that is all good. Anyway, I will cut back to our wonderful friends at the table, because it appears we're about to go into the shooting phase. Just thought I'd give you that update on the score. It is accurate, and everything is as appears.
Like to hear. Sorry everyone. Obviously, like many hobbies, I am not the best, and yes, sometimes I do get some defective models in terms of basing. They're not the best, those land speeders balancing on a pointy stick, and we hate flying bases, and just confirms it.
One of the great things that I do really want out of GW is another flying base. Like, I would love a differentiation between 32 and 60 mil while we're talking about hobby stuff. But yeah, those flying stands are an absolute fickle thing, especially the old school ones that I believe the land speeders are on. Anyway, we'll cut back to the shooting phase. Enough of our fluff bunnying. There's competitive Warhammer to be seen.
3, 4, 5, 6. I'll just do 5 and 5.
Yep.
Four, 6, 7.
7, so I'm going to go 3 ups until I lose a guy. That takes 1. So it's taken 1 win so far.
Wow, okay. Six more.
Okay, so 3 up, so he's dead, and then
5 more.
2 up, so he takes 1. Okay, takes 1.
Nice. Okay. The other squad, so I've killed 1 and the other dude's taken a wound. Okay. Yeah, I'll just continue to pepper. So the 1 damage.
Yep.
Four.
Okay, 2. Fine.
Missile launcher, 4 shots. Reroll 1, sorry. 2 wounds.
Fine.
Hey, nice. Cool, man. I believe that's all I can shoot, so just on the charges. I'm going to charge into the Sparkles and Terminators.
Yep.
6, you get me in.
7.
Sorry, 7, yeah. Saw the 6 and I was
Saw
like,
a
that's
6,
enough.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, they can all fight. 1, 2, 3. Hitting on 3s here. I'm going to pop the 1 CP plus 1 to hit just to be safe.
Yep.
Sorry, that was a 3 I picked up. Uh, 11.
11, neg 2s. So let's go
I'm just going to do my pilot and
regular guys on 5.
sorry, I can see.
And then let's go sergeant on 4s and the last regular guy. Yep.
They're wiped. Cool. Come on, and they're just going to. I'll be able to get 4 to touch the objective.
Yep.
So just do it that way, and then I'll put 1 over here as well. Like that. Sweet.
Okay, so 4 touching on objective, 1 touching on objective,
Yep.
couple in the middle. Okay, I don't think I have any morale checks to make. So you will get nothing for Codex.
No, I don't think the codex system.
You get 2 bonus.
Yep. Well, 1 for banners.
Yep. And then I will pick up 8 primaries and 3 banners. Oh, and for that turn for O's, I got another 3.
Over to you, man.
So I'll go up to 4 CP.
Up to 3.
Into the Assault Doctrine, where we want to be. Okay. So there's 2 infiltrators left.
Pardon?
2 infiltrators left.
Yeah, there's 2. You're right in the corner.
Okay, so as we just saw there, the Terminators are on the field. They've moved forward. Now Will has 2 banners planted, and he's using his other Terminator brick, the larger one, just to threaten the midboard and kind of keep Chris a bit hemmed in and force a couple of decisions on his flank objectives. Chris has scored a fair few points. 3 points for both opponents each turn is very good value so far. The only secondary that he's struggling with right now is shock tactics, but it appears he's going in for round 2 on that infiltrator unit to try and get some points there, knock down some primary ever so slightly. I think that's going to be most of his game plan moving forward. He's try and defend his banners as best as humanly possible, and hopefully step out with as much as he can. Because at the end of the day, one of the great tenets of Warhammer is disrupting your opponent is good. You also need to score your points. So if you're sitting there scoring 100 points, there's nothing they can do about it. So it's kind of that weird balance between letting them score and not. Based on that turn, it's still pretty hard to say who's going to explicitly win, but I still think Chris is in a bit more of a favourable position than he might have led on last turn. He's ahead pretty dramatically on primary. Obviously, we haven't counted prisoners into effect just yet, but he seems to have survived the desolating shooting rather well thus far. What do you reckon, Lemon? How do you reckon it's transpiring, and are you proud of your magenta tornadoes yet?
Of course, I'm proud of my magenta tornadoes. Look, irrespective of how they've rolled dice-wise, I'm always proud of them. So it's interesting. Obviously, long term, it's gonna be interesting to see how we'll come back to this all and get some prisoner points. Obviously, you see Chris there trying to measure out where the sky claws will come.
Oh wait, no, hang on, I'm wrong. I'm not sure if he actually has any of those in outflank. I haven't figured it out yet. Because at the end of the day, I think he's got a bit more grab shooting to come down the stairs. So I'm curious to see that. That's turn 3. I think he's where he can commit that Sky Claw squad, because I believe he also lost the Wolfguard battle leader from that squad. He's tanking on the Storm Shield and cover to avoid the brunt of the Desolator Marine. So they do have a fair bit less output than the previous squad.
Yeah, I think what he was obviously the deep strike is a long tank unit, as you were describing before, and that's when Will was talking about where that little bottom left X is. That's where he was measuring out where roughly 9 inches away would be for those long fangs to come in, and obviously talking about as well what bordage is yours, because there is something for people who are unaware. If you deploy in trap reserves wholly within your battle edge, I think it's within 3 inches, wholly within 3 inches of your board edge, any deployment zone, you can still come in actually more than 9 inches away. So something to take note of. So Will Milton's just trying to obviously avoid someone coming in the back there, the back left there, and shoot forward. So being smart, forward thinking where the redeploys could, where those strat reserves could come in from, and go from there. And so we're interesting, a very cagey game. I'm interested to see where the forward progression goes from here. Obviously, Will wasn't able to raise those banners early, but he has them all up now, and can he maintain them basically? And Chris is set up in a position right now with his overs at the moment. As long as he doesn't fail morale, he'll basically keep scoring threes. So, very, very interesting indeed.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be really interesting. The other thing that I'm curious about as a non-WTC member is what this Terminator squad's going to start doing over the course of the game. I'm not sure if they're actually sitting there as a defensive point to threaten a counter charge on units coming forward, or if they're actually going to look to start pushing for a bit more aggression to try and maybe stop those overs. Because at the end of the day, everyone likes putting the Terminators in the middle, but they are actually just a really good charge threat. And they are pretty slow, so once they move, they're kind of stuck in the middle, and if they go for the middle of the board, they're going to be stuck between a whole bunch of difficult ground ruins, and that can make it hard to unleash. So I'm very curious. Obviously, I believe Chris is just deciding where he wants all his rerolls. Because the terrain here does actually not give him particularly sightline stresses. One of the things to note is obviously moving out here, he doesn't have a sightline there. Obviously, nothing's there except for the land speeder or the Talon Master. So, it's going to be an interesting turn. I don't think he's going to get much shooting in, because the other thing to note is that little 2-man unit down there, that's taunting Chris for what happened last turn. And in addition to all of their great rules, you can't deep strike within 12 inches of So he can push back even further. And I believe that pushback, if Will is doing it correctly, will mean that he can't draw a sightline there because he won't get involved. So Will seems to have caged up pretty well this turn. And it's a good turn to do so because Chris's entire army now has that double exploding sixes. So I'm really curious to see what happens now.
Yeah, easy. Well, let's take it over back to Chris Wright then and listen to what his thoughts are and some of the early movements and command phase stuff for turn 3.
Too easy.
Charge.
Okay.
Chapter Master rerolls will go on that same squad.
Yep.
We don't need to do any more strats now. So let's get you going. So 12 inches is to...
Not that I want to cut him off, but a really important note there is it appears he just failed the +2 to charge litany with his chaplain, and that is a really big deal. It's going to limit his mobility a very distinct amount, and perhaps mean that he can't get as much utility out of the Sky Claws as he wanted.
So from the back of my base, 7 inches would get me right there.
Okay.
Which would, get me into all that. Okay, so then we're probably just going to do that. Well, if I've got the bonus to charge, I might have gone for him, but I think I'm not going to now.
Sorry, what was that?
If I got the bonus to charge, I might have gone for him.
But without it, yeah. That's a good catch. I thought I might have been safer.
Alright, so that's...
The Storm Shield had a wound, yeah?
Yes, Storm Shields.
Yeah, awesome.
And then... I'll just give him some food. Pick up... Got my food, this one. Give him some food. It's all fine. Right. Get those guys.
Oh, is it Wolf Guard?
Yep.
Okay.
So then, what was that spot where I had to be? So this, we know where they are, but if he was within half an inch, that's like in here. The guy half an inch back is here, and the guy two inches back from there is that's 3 inches. The 2 inches back from there is here, within 6 is there. So that's where the captain's going to have to be. Alright, so you have to be there, so let's just do that. So I'll be able to do my thing with the rights of war. These aggressors are going to budge. They're going to come back just a tiny bit. Actually, no, they'll go. So the captain's going to go a little more this way, but still within the 6 of where I needed to be. And the aggressor's just there. Scout's not moving. Judicia. We'll make a little spot for him to get heroic if that comes up. And these aggressors up a little bit. Dale, are we playing full WTC rules or not?
As they like, we're not playing any special rules. So.
Okay, so I can put my land speeder up here.
Yeah, it's more
that's both of us. Both of us are like, oh, let's play used to WTC at this point. Yeah.
That's the problem. You get, like, there's people who like who don't even play it at that level. Like, just obsessed with WTC.
Yeah.
It's like that's not how this works.
Yeah.
You can't play it. I think we brought up that one rule about
The charging.
I
Yeah.
think that's about it.
Side on to him. I think from about
Yep.
there. Alright, so is that just going to be the reserve devs? Or do they have another plan for them? I don't think I do have another plan for them. No other plan for them. Need to keep moving, so let's go reserve devs. Way more over here. Okay. Get the captain in range of them. Rest of the devs are good. Mission action from those long planes. Okay, yeah, so mission action there. And they've come there. That's all my reserves. Let's get shooting. So I'm going to start with this squad into those two guys. Do you want me to roll that out?
The grab?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay, thanks. Then we've just got two melter guns.
Sorry, man, it's just flying.
Two melter guns here into the infiltrators.
Yeah, man.
So we're hitting on. You've still got helix, right?
Do you want the helix? Yep, for this one. Yep.
So hitting on 3s with re-rolls and wounding on 2s. One wound, egg 4.
Helixes.
Yep. Okay, so then let's get charging 4. So let's get this one guy in 6 of you. Everyone else fighting, so.
Yes, please. Can I get a ginger beer, please? Chris, do you want a drink?
Good, thanks.
And a water as well, if that's okay? Yeah. Yes, please. Yeah. Yeah.
So we've got him in the wall. So let's go Sergeant first. Re-rolling. So Thunderhammer Sergeant. 2s. 1, neg 3.
Saves it.
This is not happening again. Chainsaw.
I didn't even transhuman, dude. Forgot, so.
Do you want to?
It's fine. I think they're dead anyway, so.
4 6s. 4s. Six neg 2s.
So you spend the CP to put them into super?
No, it's just it's turn 3.
Oh, right, sorry. Yeah, that kills them.
Kills it? Okay.
Yep.
So I'll just do that for you.
Yep. Let's fix the Terminators where they were. Cool.
So
You are currently in engagement range with the Terminator there. For reference.
sorry,
Yeah,
put it
I know.
on
You got more. I'm just letting you know to move it. Yeah.
So he'd be there. Let's go over to there. That's fine. Alrighty, so that is my turn done.
Okay, man. What do you score?
So I'll get 4 for shock tactics, 3 for bonus. For Otis, that's end of battle round. Yep, so that's me. I got 3 banners at the start of the turn. And onto your turn, you'll get 2 banners, 4 primaries.
Yep. Oh, thank you. Give me 2 seconds.
And I'm on 5
you very
CP.
Up to 4. Yeah, getting shocked there is huge. Okay.
So is it -1 damage there?
Yep, correct.
3 rolls there.
Yeah, sure. At this point, yeah.
You can.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, maybe changing, but it's fine. Yeah. So all the grabs are over there?
Yep.
Okay. Can you...
Okay, so the Madman, he's finally done it. Chris has scored shock tactics. He's finally managed to send a Skyclaw unit in there to nice and primary and get those swings, which is a huge swing. They both hit. As this keeps going on, it's looking like both of them sound like Chris seems to be in the lead, and I'm going to take their word. What do you reckon, Lemon? How do you reckon this is all panning out?
Yeah, interesting. Obviously, Chris mentioned there's like not again, please no, when the initial Sky Claws whiffed a little bit with the Thunderhammer, but we'll see what happens now. Finally got some score tactics and see what happens.
Yeah, I think it would have been a really interesting. I think if Chris had have just gone and scored a million, like another 9 points based on the primary swings last turn, this game would already be kind of in the contentious issue problem for poor old Will. But I think there's still hope. I definitely wouldn't count Will out of this game by any chance of my imagination just yet. So I'm really curious to see what this turn looks like. Because one of the things is they're both really good players, and if Will notices that he won't win the game by playing the way he is, he's going to actually start moving and trying to win the game. Like taking a couple of more of those plays, seeing how it all works out for him. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to lose the game by standing still, you might as well go out swinging. My books. The other thing.
Yeah, sure. I also just. Oh, sorry. Apologies to cut you off there, Joe. But where's the Rights of War Talent Master? Is that the one at the very top? I'm guessing. I thought that might have been the Arbiter's Gaze one, but maybe that's the Arbiter's Gaze one down by the bottom left.
Yeah, I assumed that the Rights of War one would be, just so everyone knows what we're talking about, I assumed the Rights of War Talent Master would be this one here. So I don't know how Chris got OBSEC on these guys, unless what you might find is his Rights of Wars within 6 there.
Yeah, so it has more models on there with OBSEC. Yeah, that makes more sense then. That's what I guess, but I just wanted to make sure.
I can't imagine that the Rights of War Talent Master would be... Sorry, this is not cooperating. And yeah, I can't imagine this would be the Rights of War Talent Master because there's no reason for it to be there, and it being the Arbiter's Gaze one makes more sense because the sight lines down here are much better. So that would be my guess. I can confirm that momentarily when I hand back the scorecard. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how turn 3 works out for Bill. Chris is definitely putting the pressure on. It doesn't seem like he is, which is really funny. They're both playing a very jovial game where they both understand everything. But make no mistake, Chris is brutal when he wants to be, and he's definitely putting the screws to Bill. That being said, I believe he's almost out of Skyclaws, so at this point he's going to have to start looking for another solution as to how to do this shock tactics maneuver. Because I think if he can do that for another 2 turns, this is going to start looking really rough for Will. Of note there, one of the other important things that turn is Chris did fail his litanies. So that would have stopped him from potentially giving a 0. I think that was probably his intent, was to try and move the Skyclaws out and get as much, try and deny even more primary, but obviously with the litanies failing, he made a much safer charge, which I think is definitely the right decision. All right. So what we might do is hand back over to them. I need to hand them their score sheet back, and we will see how Will's turn 3 is progressing.
Your base won't be wide enough to fit through there without hiding the Terminators. And they mainly should be out of the grab. Just show us the grab again. Sorry, man.
So
Yeah, we're good.
one guy, yeah, can't see.
Yeah, cool.
You can only see the base, not the models.
And then if you want to get through, it's just under 3 inches, and his base is.
The width of the base,
Sorry to be a pain, man.
is just under 2. It's about 1.7 or something.
Okay, so if I use this way, you won't be able to clear it.
Sure.
Because of the width there.
Yep.
Chapter Master, just come back. He'll do the action, then the Chapter Master.
Yep. Just checking. Have you got him character blocks?
Him?
Look out, sir.
He's within 3 of the spear. Yeah. Thought I had it, yeah.
Just important we confirm that now.
Yes, yeah. Alright, so this is the interesting one, because I don't want you to be my Talon Master. So your Wolf Guard aware, mate?
Pretty close, so there.
It's a pretty big boy charge. That's a bit of a pain. Don't know if I'm going to be able to get shots off here without being in danger.
Yeah.
What I might have to do, no, I don't want to risk it out of cover. We got time because the extra 6 minutes.
6.5 minutes, yeah.
I was like, all right, but looking at that, funny. Six wounds here.
Yep.
And you roll 6 for free.
Yeah, or any unit can roll it.
It's a pain to deal with. Just gonna move the Terminators up so they're just inch out of him.
Yep.
Sorry, I'll leave him one more point back here. Alright, so what do I fucking do here? I'm actually going to bring him back. He's going to sit in the corner, wall.
Bottom floor.
Yep, bottom floor, just off the wall so they can't see. And within 6 of them, of him.
For rerolls, yep.
For an obsec.
Of course.
Yep.
That too.
This land speeder is just going to chill here. Alright, man, that's my movement. Let's do some shooting. Oh, sorry, I gotta move here. Apologies. You haven't given me much, which is a good job. 24 threat range. Okay, just out of threat. They can get him now. Sorry. Forgot about your wolf guard. I might have to adjust it slightly.
Yep. So wolf guard just.
Yep, so they move 12 to here.
Yep.
So it's like an 8-inch charge, and then if you get a +2, it's a 6. It's pretty reliable, so let's not do that. I need to keep it safe. Might just bring it back here for now.
I don't think I've got any way to shoot that.
Yeah, not really. And then 6 from there. Bloody wolf guard, man. I miss jump pack marines.
You're so torn.
Yeah, man, I can't protect him. You've done a good job of keeping me in a bad spot. Alright, so what I'm going to do, land speed is coming slightly there just to block the charge. The grab, if it max moves 6 here.
Yep.
So to there, I don't think you can be able to see the fin, just rotate it so the fin.
Rotate it a bit.
Like that?
Yeah, can't see.
Cool. Sweet, so he's just up there and he's touching the point.
Yep.
I think that's the best I'm going to get.
Sounds good. I'll check them both clean.
Awesome.
Yep.
Alrighty, man. He's just going to chill for now. Alrighty, shooting just the indirect really. So we'll go, the big unit are going to go, actually sorry, go small first. They're going to go into the land speed here.
Yep. Hang on, how many CP do I have?
5.
5. I'll chuck smoke launchers on him and they're going to hit.
Sweet, number of shots. So this will be +1, -1, so forwards.
Yeah, plot.
Three wounds, AP 1.
They're good.
Okay, yep. And then the rocket launcher. Okay. Hits. Doesn't wound. Reroll wounds.
Yep.
Wounds.
Fails.
2 damage.
So down to 5.
Okay. And I'm going to put all the small shots here. 4 small shots here. Sorry, 5 small shots here. Big launcher and small shots. Remaining. So the big launcher, 4 shots. Won't be getting the minus. 4 saves.
Yep. So
On the
3
wolf.
up. 2.
2 die. And then the small shots. So 1, 2.
Only 5 men.
Pardon?
It's only a 5 men,
Yeah.
so you don't get max
Oh,
shots.
okay, right, sorry. Six.
6. Yep. 3 up. Just 1.
Nice. Into the rest into here. Two. 81.
Down to 3.
Okay. That's all my shooting because I just want to charge there. Oh, actually, sorry. I'll put the land speeder over there. His assault cannons in there. Just 1. Neg 2.
On the front.
You've got the wounded guy.
Yep, got the wooden guy.
Yep,
He's
cool.
dead.
Perfect. And just a charge from the Terminators over there.
Yep.
7. So I'm going to get Fortify because I'm just going to stay off the wall again to prevent the bike captain from coming in. +1 to hit. 1, 2, 3, 6, 8.
Storm Shield, he's still alive. Yep. And a Storm Shield was.
You took the warrior to the Storm Shield, yeah.
Yeah, so one regular guy dead. They're -2.
Yeah.
3 more regular guys dead. Exactly got him.
That's the unit, yeah?
Yep.
Yep, cool. 2 man, nothing else. So I'm getting 2 on the action.
Yep.
Banners, I got 2.
Yep.
And that's it.
Nothing for Codex. Onto my turn, I will
Yep.
get 8 primaries, 3 banners. For O's last turn, I got 3 again.
Yep.
Then, yep, up to 5 CP. This 5. Did you wound? Yes, you wounded this land speed.
Yep.
All right.
So 2 dead, 1 wounded.
Yes, on the wolf guard, yes. All right, so you've got.
Oh, I got yeah. Should be 5.
Currently, there's 3, but with some shuffles, you get 4
Yeah,
or
4.
5.
Go 5 like that.
5, no worries. Did I lose my rights to wolf to peace rights before? That would be 16 inches to there, 3 inches to there. Not a very long charge. Given that I can go this way and around,
Yeah, I'm aware.
do you want to redo where he is?
No, it's fine. It's on me. I couldn't prevent it, so yeah.
So that's something I can consider. No wound on combat. How many wounds is he?
I think he's 8. I'll have to double check for you.
I'm only 5 attacks. Yes, I'm looking to prevent those. Prevent those. So that would be 4 points for that.
Alright, while Chris muses on what he's going to do this turn a bit, I do want to address that last turn and basically how interesting the communication between the two of them was. As we heard, Chris, it's weird because it feels like we're actually watching a chess game. Chris almost performed like a pincer maneuver on Will's land speeder in the corner, the right support one, as you would have just heard him say, there is no way I can protect that, so I'm okay with this. That's huge. Taking out right support down there is going to mean that Chris can potentially look to 0 primary will, and that might just be enough to get him out and ahead of this game. Chris has also done a really good job of denying Codex Warfare all game. One of the disadvantages of Dark Angels, if you can call it that, is because they want to stay in the Dev Doctrine. If you force them to kill things in melee, it takes 2 turns to get into the right doctrine to get Codex Warfare. So he's doing a really good job only keeping Codex to 2. And obviously with the banners kicking off the turn before, that can be a bit rough as well. So, Sam, it looks, unfortunately for you, like New South Wales are claiming superiority as far as
Yeah, so Chris Wright is definitely up right now. And as we have Hayden will start talking in the chat, at the moment Will is playing Chris's game. He needs to change his approach since Chris can just keep doing what he's doing and come out ahead. So obviously Chris Wright being able to get those 3 points of Oaths every game, every round, those 3 points of raise the banners. And Will's not able to do much. So it's very tight indeed, and looks like so now Chris is planning out how, with the land speeder Storm, if he moves out and disembarks the scouts, how many models can he get on the objective. So very, very cheeky denial primary there, and also stops the button being pressed, which is very, very cool to see.
Huge way to deny about 6 primary.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Chris is going to look to presumably take 1 or 2 of the board objectives. I assume it's only going to be 1 because he wants shock tactics. And if he does that, he'll give Will a 0. But he'll also set up to be scoring near a 45 primary. And Will's nowhere near that stage, so that's going to be enough to probably pinch the game. Will obviously hasn't factored in no prisoners. Keep that in mind on the score. But Swolducky is absolutely correct. What we've seen right now, even from turn 2, is that Chris has been playing a beautiful staging game. My Drakari heart is like crying, because that's exactly how we love to play the game. He's setting the same trap in motion turn after turn, and almost using it as a bit of a misère, like almost just saying, you need to deal with this problem in this staging ground, or I'm just going to keep doing this and win the game. And unfortunately, it seems like Will's been stuck in a corner where he hasn't been able to really get on top of it yet. So, look, again, take heed in saying this is a wonderful game of Warhammer to watch from a technical perspective. Also, what I love about both of them is even when Chris turned around and measured out his charges, the first thing he said to Will was, would you like to move back to another spot to make this easier or harder? And I really appreciate that. And as Will said, no, there was no way I could do it, as we discussed. It's really nice camaraderie. Obviously, they're WTC teammates, but it's really nice to turn around and see both of them actually giving each other the benefit of the doubt. It's like, if I'm going to beat you, I want to beat you because I'm making the right decisions, not because you made a mistake. It's really good to see.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's just the best way to play the game is by doing so. And playing by intent is talking about what you can and cannot do, per se, and agreeing to yes or no.
Unless you're playing against Sam and best all bets. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll cut back to them while they're deciding what the heck's going on, because they might be up to something tricky. It looks like Chris is about to begin his movement. I think he's just been postulating so far, so let's see what he's up to and see what he's discussing.
Yeah, we'll probably go through that stuff too. So let's put rerolls onto. Let's go. Reroll hits in combat from the chaplain. Yep. Then let's go. Bonuses to pilots and consolidates and stuff.
+2. Yep, goes off.
Let's put Chapter Master rerolls onto the green unit of aggressors. Nothing else in the command phase. So let's get you. Probably up to.
It's wounded, yeah.
Yeah, and then get out some scouts. Wait, are there scouts in that?
What's up?
Have you killed a scout squad?
I don't know.
No, you haven't killed
I don't think I have. My indirect hasn't done much yet, so.
So let's get this guy just tagging the objective. No need to do two. So they're going over to there. They're popping over to there. Yeah, so we're just keeping that stuff alive. Over here. So let's see.
You checking speed, normal speed of movement?
No, I'm just checking your charges and stuff. So he will pop over to. So he'll pop back. So that should be outside of that range. Yep.
Yep.
Just go like that. And it's very far for you. So I'm pretty happy with all of that. Let's get. Oh, they're not meant to be poking out. Wolf guard over to here. So I think that is good enough for me. Movement, so let's get shooting. So let's go. Oh, sorry, these guys need to shuffle around a bit. So let's touch each other.
What are you trying to see with them?
So I'm just not seeing, just getting cover if you go for me over here. And we just scored 2. Let's get, sorry, from the guy back here, I've got 11, so I might just pop him to here. Alrighty, dun, dun, dun. Okay, so that's all good for movement. Get shooting scouts into Terminators. So are they -1 damage? They are. Okay. So let's go melter guns first. 3 re-rolling 1s for the captain, and then a 4 to wound. No. Puzz Missile not supercharging, hits, doesn't wound. Crack Grenade, hits, doesn't wound. Then this guy won't see anything. Alright, so that's my turn.
Great.
So I'll pick up 4 points for Shock Tactics, 3 points for the bonus, with the mission action. And then that's my turn.
Nice, man.
And you'll get 4 primaries and 2 banners.
Correct. Nice, very nicely done.
I'll go up to 6 CP. So to this side of the dice, is it?
Yep.
Yep, that's good.
9-inch charge.
Yep. So the way I've done it, that still wouldn't get you into the back squad.
Pardon?
That will get you into the front squad, but not the back.
Yeah, correct, yep. All good. Up to 4 CP.
Okie dokie. So once again, Chris is putting the screws on. I think that was a really good turn to go for all the shock tactics plays and whatnot, because this is the one turn he sniper. Obviously, with Will going second on turn 5, he's going to be able to move out, and he's presumed to score a 12. But I think Chris is okay with that. I think at this stage he's far enough out in the lead that he shouldn't have a problem with it. So we'll see there. At the end of the day, look, Swelduck's making great points. I really like the point on banners. Banners is such an interesting secondary because it can work, but it forces a very distinct tactical dilemma. You have to play games. What do you reckon, Lemon?
Yeah, it certainly is a dilemma in the sense of how you play it out. So obviously it'd be great if you can take banners then push out, so that way your opponent can't get behind your backfield. But in this situation, Chris has been able to tie that objective just left of the center and the bottom left there. He's been able to put the 4 or 5 scouts there and out obsec bodies onto the objective there and steal it away. So obviously reducing Will to 2 points of banners. So he's only got the top left and the bottom left in terms of banner points. Whereas Chris has been able to get 3s all game long. So now Will has to decide. He has to push in order for Will to win this game. He has to push. So I envision him, looks like he was measuring the Terminators move 5 inches and he can 9-inch charge to get to that closest top right unit. Those Desolation Marines with indirect maybe pick up the other unit and then potentially, look, it's desperation time right now for Will. So he has to try and roll a hot charge and then maybe with Pylons and Consolidates can tag both sides of objectives and get Chris to 0 on primary. And just get those no prisoner points, right? So obviously Will's still got a bunch of no prisoner points to happen. So obviously I imagine those 4 scouts in the middle to left objective will be dead. And ideally those top right units are dead for no prisoners. And what other else with guard wise and bodies wise you can kill, the better. And then try and avoid getting shock tactics again, basically is the biggest thing for Will right now. And then we'll avoid any banners to be raised. So it's very, very interesting. It's going to come down. And also know the side, it looks like you're circling over. So there is a still land speeder there with more scouts inside. So there's just so much stuff.
That is such a clever move, putting that back there. It's taking it away from the Terminators and basically setting that up, I imagine, as a last-ditch effort to either reset an objective or if those Terminators do actually somehow take the objective off, what he'll do is he'll use that as his shock tactics by moving it and then using that to move forward onto maybe one objective like that one, take that, and then moving the scouts up onto here to take the shock tactics and reset the primary a bit. Look, Chris just handed in the scorecard, and one of the comments that he made that I actually adore based on what we're seeing is he's like, I'm putting a lot of pressure out with this list without actually having to do anything. He's presenting problems so perpetually without having to engage. And that's such a critical feature of what he's got going on in this little castle houses. Screw him. He's basically created Castle Furry over here, and has refused to leave it, but it is being so pivotal into how he can move. The other really important feature of this terrain map is these two difficult grounds in the middle have been critical in order to force the Terminators to slow, because they could only move to touch this if they want to go that way, or they have to go around and make longer charges. So he's using the terrain completely to his advantage. And this little cluster here has been absolutely pivotal for him to keep harassing this one objective. And that's kind of why he took shock tactics. Like, I really respect the decision, because what he's doing is building his entire game plan around denying Will 4 primary every turn, scoring another 4 points, another 5 actually, because he's getting the 1 from the mission action, and creating 9-point swing after 9-point swing after 9-point swing. It's really efficient, and I'm really enjoying watching this. But we will cut back to them just to see what Will can do. I'm curious to see if he can pull an Uno reverse card out of his fingers at the 11th hour. But I'm safe to say it looks pretty good for me in New South Wales over here, Lemon.
Don't stop until the fat lady sings or something like that, right? That's the old adage.
That is the old adage.
See what happens.
Indeed.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize the scouts were touching. That's good to know.
Yep. Thanks. Do you have a progressive score? Do you have a score totals? What are they? Don't worry about it. I'll just count it up. Or no prisoners.
No prisoners as well.
He's currently, Jack, he's currently on 6 or 7 points.
Sorry?
He's currently on 6 or 7.
I won't take up too much of your time here. I just wanted to tell you that I spoke to Chris and Will, and they just filled me in loosely on where the no prisoners score is at, just so we have a loose estimate for everyone on stream. No prisoners currently, Chris estimates to be a 7 with more potential. So I'm just going to leave that as a 7+ for now and add it to the score, just so it does reflect the no prisoners that is added. So currently, even with the no prisoners added, you're still staring at almost at a 17-point difference between the two players right now. So this game is pretty close. It'll all come down to how Will can disrupt Chris's primary going into turn 5. But I will leave that to the two of them to explain.
Not advancing him. I'm just going to leave. Actually, sorry, you're on the forest anyway, so I will advance you this.
Yep.
I'll advance the banner. 5. Sorry. Captain will go to the center, just staying within 3 of the unit on the edge to protect him. That is my movement. Let's do some shooting. Okay. Just moving him there, just to block still. Just because you've moved it that way slightly, so I'm just going to move back across a little bit more. Because yeah, 6 is, yeah, the angle's fine. Cool, man. Alright, so shooting. I will shoot the Cyclone here into that transport.
Yep.
So crack misses. One hit. Doesn't wound. Okay. I got enough CP. I'm actually going to CP that.
Yep.
Wounds. Make 3.
Oh, yep.
Perfect.
Six doesn't even do it.
1 damage.
And
Yeah.
4.
How it is. This one will shoot at him as well. Reroll 1s from the captain thing. I'm out. Yeah, I'm out. So just 1 hit. 1 wound.
Yep, what's the minus?
5 damage. Make 3 from the clock.
Oh, for him down here?
Yep.
Yep, so he's dead?
Yeah, he's dead.
Yep, does he blow? Cool. He does.
That's good. Okay. Cool.
Might be a mortal wound on
That
you.
Talonmaster's going to light up the scouts.
Just got 1 mortal wound on your
Yeah, okay. 2 points for Codex. Telemaster if they're lighting up the scouts. Seven, neg 2.
Yep, 4s. 3 of them, so 1 left.
Heavy bolter. 2, neg 2.
4s. Yep.
No, cool. Another 2 for Codex. The land speeder at the front. The unit without the Terminator, is that the front unit there?
No, you without Terminators in here.
Okay. It'll just shoot the dev unit in front.
So who's they, sorry?
That dev unit in front. Assault cannon.
Dent.
Yeah, I only hit a 4. 3 wounds. Did I roll a 3?
Those are 3 there.
Okay,
Yeah.
just take one out.
2 wounds. Yep. So
Apologies,
that's on the.
The front unit just hit. Yeah.
I'll take it on this back guy. 3 or 2.
Two.
Yeah. Good.
Okay. Rocket launchers. 1 hit. Nothing. No monsters. This Telemaster over here is going to light up the back unit.
Yeah. Transhuman.
Yep. Assault cannon. Four.
Yep. So 5s. So kills
Helix 1.
half a guy with that.
Heavy bolter. 2. Yeah, not great.
5s. Finishes the guy off.
Kills 1. Wow. Okay. Indirect. We will go. So have you got any scouts out at the moment? You got the 1 unit.
The 1 unit here.
Okay. The 5 man will go into. All the 5 man will go. Actually, sorry. Full 10 man go onto the back unit of scout. Back unit of infiltrators.
Yep.
Yeah, you transhuman. That's fine. I'll go with it.
Yep.
Just Castellans. A 7. Neg 1.
Okay, 7 4-ups. Let's roll 5 of them. So
6 shots on the
you
Vendor.
guys dead. Sorry, do you mind? I don't care about the clock. Yeah,
We got plenty of time.
exactly. So there's 2 guys dead, 2 left. Let's roll the other 2. 1 guy left.
Okay, 6 shots on the Vendor. Ones. 2 wounds.
Yep, 4-ups.
3 damage. I have
think-
another unit of indirect just for reference.
Yeah, I have heaps of CP. I'll do it.
Okay.
Get some.
Kills him anyway. So just 1 unit left there, yep.
Yep.
That was the back unit, that was still closer, yeah? Oh, yeah, all good, we're fine. The other unit will go into the Wolf Guard on there.
Yep.
So we'll go the missile launcher first. There's none wounded? No, there is 1 wounded, isn't there?
Yes, it's a guy on 1.
Yeah. So the 1 damage. 4. Three ups.
Threes, finishes and 1 on the next.
And then missile launcher, 5 shots. 5 hits. No 4 wounds. Same thing here. Kills another one. There's 1 left, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's my shooting charges. We have 1, obviously. 9 inches. Pick some different dice. Nah. Needs to do something, so.
Yeah, absolutely. So you get 6 the Codex Warfare that turn.
Yep, 6 a turn.
2 for bonus. No prisoners, you got a bit more.
I forgot to take the banner on the Terminators.
Norris banner
Is
there.
that alright?
Yep.
Yes, man, appreciate that.
They didn't shoot it. You did shoot with the cyclone missile.
Oh, sorry, no, don't worry then. I did, yeah, apologies. Ignore that. Yeah, because I did damage, yep. That's why I was like, oh, I don't need to charge, and then the stage went over my head.
So I'll get 8 primaries,
You will.
3 banners. Okay, so, and for O's, again, I got 3.
2 on the action for me from the
Yeah.
chaplain. The sergeant, captain master.
I'll go up to 5 CP.
Up to 3.
Alright, so we don't want to give away too many prisoners. I think he's going to max towards. Let's knock down some banners.
Okay, so Chris is just having a bit of a think about how he's going to operate his turn 5. But looking at what he just scored then, that's a huge win for him. He kept his 8 primary. He's going to keep his banners up for as long as possible. And it looks like this turn, if he goes for a shock tactics play, which I can't imagine he won't, he is going to comfortably get 12 on shock tactics and another 3 on the mission, which will put him to 45 primary. Oaths, he will score a fair few of. He's looking at something between 95 and 97 points in my mind for his total score, which is very respectful. One of the interesting parts that one of the things that I really like from Dark Angels actually is this Talon Master here is doing a really important job. Not only just taking line of sight, but also threatening to take this if Chris moves the OBSEC off the objective. So you're looking at banner denial from Will. I think that's the play there. And these Terminators can almost certainly get onto this objective with just a 1-inch advance if they need, or a charge around. So I'll be curious to see what Chris does. He's going to try and limit points, but I think he's comfortable at this point. What do you reckon, Lemon?
Yeah, I think Chris has got this now. Unfortunately, Will wasn't able to make the 9-inch charge, which, as we all know, isn't a reliable thing to pick up that last 5-man infiltrator squad there. So, bit hard for Will. Obviously, he's got a lot of Codex Warfare there, so he's able to whittle down, kill 3 units with Codex Warfare. And he's got 1 Wolf Guard, I think, just alive on like a couple wounds. So, be able to pick up another easy 2 there, and probably another 2 with the top infiltrators with like the Talon Master or just some indirect. So look, that Codex Warfare is going to go up, and then there's no prisoners as well go up. But look, I think at the end of the game, like Will Milton has only been able to score 2 lots of 4 primary, whereas Chris has been able to score like lots of 8 all game. And even if Will gets a 12 bottom of 5, I think it's a bit too little too late. And as you said, Chris will score very comfortably, a quite high score overall, and I don't think Will can chase. So, but it's been a great game, obviously, to watch. Very, very tactical, and I'm sure when we hear them discuss things afterwards about how what errors were made or what mistakes were made, it'll be interesting to hear what they thought was the critical things.
Oh, absolutely. Like one of the annoying things for Will is even if he does a complete max of primary next turn, he is looking at 36 plus 4, so 40. He's going to be dropping 5 points on primary to begin with, and then banners won't max out either. So I think he's already fallen into the danger territory where Chris gets shock tactics this turn and maybe picks up a land speeder. That might just be all she wrote, but we'll have to see. It's still not perfectly in the realm. I would like to see Chris win by taking out one of your Magenta Typhoons, Sam. I think that's just poetic justice for our little side bet that we've got going on. But let's see how Chris's turn plays out. Let's go back to Chris as he moves his models and double check how he's going forward.
So we'll go 8 to here.
21 was the edge of the building roughly when we checked it.
21's up here now. Because I moved the captain up.
Yeah, apologies, yeah. Yeah, we checked that a while ago.
So let's go 12 to there. And then 9 to here. Then let's advance these aggressors. The captain goes, he won't be able to advance and charge. So, chapter master rerolls. We're on, was it aggressors or himself?
I don't know, I didn't hear you because you were talking.
I think I put it on himself because I got that off.
Yeah, you did hold it till last, so.
So let's go. Okay, so let's do that. Someone's going to do the mission action. Pop over there. This guy can get through. These guys will touch the room. Uh, 18 can get the far side of the interior of the ruin.
Run away!
So, yep. When the time comes, he will do the mission action. The wolf guards.
Chris, what are you doing, mate?
Yeah, the chaplain. This here. I'm just going to save some of this stuff from dying for new prisoners. We got lots of CP, no worries. I'll advance these guys. 6, so that'll pop over. 6. So he is touching there. I think he slipped off, but he's aiming to touch there. That one guy. Okay, then we'll pop over to there. All right. So that's moving. Let's get shooting. So, I don't think I can get anything really down into him. No. So let's just kick off with melter gun into him. So that'll be a 3 because he advanced. It hits. It wounds. That would have been nice. Then let's go for his melter gun into him. Skyclaw? Wolfguard? No, into the speeder. Actually, no, we'll wait on that. Let's go all these aggressors into the speeder first. So, 5, 10, 15, yeah. 20, 25. So the regular guns, 4s, and 5s. 3, yep. Nothing. And top guns, 7, 9, 11. 2 more. Yep. The melter gun will chuck into him. Misses, no rerolls. Alright, so then let's go this squad of lads into the land speeder. So let's start with the grav cannon. So we've still got the 4, yep. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Could spend the CP to ignore modifiers with this unit. Actually, no. I don't really care about him. They're -1 damage. I just do nothing against -1 damage. Do I care if I kill 2 Terminators? Not at all. Yeah, into the land speeder. I'll spend the 1 to ignore modifiers. Oh no, I should do that. The aggressors making ignore modifier to charge. Never mind. I'm going to spend the 1 to ignore modifiers with the aggressors because that will let them ignore the -2 to charge for going through the forest.
Oh, that's everything?
Yeah, and hit roll modifiers as well. So yeah, grav cannon shots into him. So we're hitting on 4s.
You still take heavy weapons?
4s to hit, yeah. It would be 3s, but I'm using it on the aggressors. These are the devastators.
Yeah. So winning on 5 is yeah.
Yep, so 2 saves on your speeder.
Takes 2.
2 each. He's a 3-up save, isn't he? Cyclone missile launcher. 2 hits. No wounds. Is the melter gun in? Yep. Nope. And then they still have a cherub. Did I shoot the cherub? The cherub from this squad?
You have not.
They came down last.
You haven't shot any sheriff yet.
Okay, so I'll shoot the missile launcher again. No. Okay. His guns. 4s and 5s. No. His gun hits. Doesn't wound. Alright, fair enough. So then let's go to over here. So 30 inches, definitely good for range. The line of sight. Let's be the ones out of the building. So let's start with Cyclone Launcher here on 4s and 4s. 1 neg 2. And the 1 grav cannon there. 2 saves.
Kills 1. Oh, -1 damage.
Yeah, so it goes down to 1. I'll cherub the grav cannon. Cox. Yep. And then the other squad will.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, one. Cool. Yep. Look, I'm gonna try and overwatch here. It might help. So, heavy bolter. Nothing. Soul cannon. 2. 1 wound. Yep. Yeah, nice. Yep.
With a +2, so that's a 9. So let's get you, grav cannon, over to here. Bonk. Bonk. Aggressors into Terminators, ignoring the -2 and getting a +2. So 9. Yeah, it's not going to work, but that's fine. Let's go. I'll leave room for the Judicia. Judicia will have a crack. No, that won't make it. Do I CP that? I think that's my last charge. I have 4. What can I do? +1 to wound there. Nah. Okay. So that's all of my charges. So let's get. How many CP do you have? Just 2. Okay. Let's get fighting. Start the fight phase. Do you want to do anything? Okay. So let's get the aggressors going.
Oh, hold on. Sorry. Apologies. Just looking at your. Is it going to matter? Apologies. Okay. So how many? You got 3?
I've got into your Terminators. I've got my aggressors and
The devs?
devs. Yep, and I've got him into there, him into there.
Yeah, I'll do the line unbreakable. Line unbreakable will mean a few can't fight, I believe, looking into that.
So I think you'll get 1 aggressor not fighting because I want to stay in Judicial
Okay,
range.
which could be an inch there, yeah, I see what you mean.
And then everyone else will get it.
Yeah, not worth it then, yeah. If for 1 aggressor, it's not worth the stop.
So 6 will get him there, you within half, everyone else just into the wall, get half, and he'll be in half. So I'll get 4 attacks per guy, and next one.
Sorry, what's up?
Ignoring modifiers for turns, re-rolling the chaplain, going to re-roll all of the
Featuring for sixes.
So I'm also going to spend one for 60 at the right now.
Oh, yep. Nice.
Doesn't, he explodes, so get
I know, yep. All good.
many sixes. So far we have 11 auto wounds, and we've also got an extra 22 hits. So I will 11 auto wounds, and then
I got the 11 here. How many more? Alright, I'm just gonna roll the 11 and then 17, because I don't have enough dice. So, kills 1, kills 2, and then that's 11 plus 6. 3, 4, 5, they're dead. Oh, sorry, there's 7. Apologies. 3, 4, 5. It does just kill them. Yeah, it was right. Yep. Very nice, mate. Very nice. The auto wound is very good there. Pretty good. I'm impressed. Yep. Rerolling. Are you fishing or? Yep. All into the Telemaster, yeah? Yep. Yep. 6. So I've got a pass. I've got 8 wounds. So. Oh yeah. He's dead. Cool. Chuck him here, please. Yep. Pretty good. He's pretty sure he's dead. He is just dead. Does he blow up? He does not.
Alright, so that's the end of Chris's turn, and safe to say, this game is over. His captain going in, taking out the enemy rights of war. Turn 5 is pretty big. Taking out a full Terminator squad with 7 aggressors and a Wolf Guard. Yeah, it's not even looking like Will's going to get 12 primary this turn all of a sudden. So, Chris all of a sudden maxes primary with the final mission action, turn 5. So that'll put him to 45 primary. He killed a vehicle and a character, so Oath of Moment is guaranteed. Doesn't fail on morale check. Let's probably just put that in there. Shock Tactics, you got another 4, 12. And so last, Raise the Banners. That one, he might lose a couple of points on, just floating around, depending on how well Will can take down his banners or what Will wants to do. But at the end of the day, he's still staring down the barrel of a 94 in current circumstance. And with Will at the start of his turn only being on 24 primary, that's already a game. which is unfortunate, but as we said earlier, Chris is indeed putting on a masterclass of how to do unconventional things with Space Wolves. What do you reckon, Lemon?
Brutal, very, very brutal. I did not expect that much damage to come out turn 5, but look, Chris probably saw this was a way to win the game and like deal the fatal blow. And look, he's dealt the fatal blow for sure and really pushed it in. So yeah, it's very hard now for Will. So this is the last turn, last little bit. So Will's just going to scrap on, get as many points as he can. I think he'll definitely just kill the Spikefield Traders at the top there, take down those 2 banners between the Deathwing Terminators and the Raven Talmaster, and just with the Desolation Marines try and kill some stuff. So yeah, also and the land speeder there that's tagged against the Chaplain. So now you see him moving all his Desolation Marines out. It's like, right, let's do it. Get those Dark Lances going. We don't have to just use the indirect. And like maybe that last land speed on the bottom left, go out and try and just kill something, right? I mean, try and max Codex Warfare where you can, pick up those little small units where and when possible, and do it as best as you can, right? May as well go out swinging. Will does have enough CP, so obviously he can spend 2 CP to action and shoot. So maybe with those Terminators, that smack bang in the middle, he can move onto that middle to right objective, still action and shoot in terms of raising down that banners. Actually, apologies, you can't even take it down. So you can't even raise the banners. So actually, I believe he can. Actually. Maybe not. I may be mistaken. So he'll do as best as he can and go from there.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, in a circumstance like this where you know you've already lost the game, the best thing to do is just try and maximize as many points as you can. And I'll be curious to see how he's going to go about that. I don't know what is on that objective. I think that's just a banner. So Chris has done a good job of basically abandoning one of his objectives so the Terminators can't get to it. And yeah, I think we're just going to see a whole bunch of Desolators come out, like you said, shoot a whole bunch of stuff, score as much as he can on Codex and No-Priz, and call the game there. Because he's only going to score 1 banner this turn as well. There's no real way he can raise them given Rights of War kicking around. Chris has done a really good job of basically keeping Rights of War on both objectives to keep OBSEC there. And yeah, although I am very disappointed in one of your gentle lane speeders. It is an affront to
Look, at least we can spot it, right? At least we can see where the magenta land speeders are. They're nice and easy to see. It can be easily pictured from up above.
It blends in with the down under 40k objective. Pretty. But, oh, look, hang on. Never mind. It's just fine. It's disappointing. Anyway, we'll cut over to the players just to finalise out the game and have Will talk through what he's doing for his final turn.
Okay, Soul Cannon. Just one. No, I felt it's -1 if I fall back. Yeah. Cool. He's doing the action. Yeah, should have done the other way, but that's alright. That's on me being trying to be quick. Alrighty, so these units are out. The 5-man will shoot everything. So the indirect will go into the aggressors. All the direct shots will go. How many devs are there? There's 5, right? Oh, I thought that was the weak. No, that's.
We've got 4 men over there.
Yeah.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There is 6. Oh, okay, alright, okay. In that case, then what I'll do is I'll put. All the small shots and the super crack there, the big gun into the aggressors. Oh, so no, it's only 2 damage. It's not worth that doing. Apologies, Mr. Guns. They'll just shoot everything into that unit. So, 1. Do the super cracks first. All hit. All wound. Neg 4. Rocket, Benjor, 6 again. It's alright. Yeah, man, it's fine. I think I think I've wiped that pretty with all the rockets coming out. These guys are just going to shoot over there as well to guarantee it, because it doesn't really matter. And then they go for the charge. So let's just see if I make that. I'll put the indirect actual rocket launcher into the aggressors just to maybe click one. Do you want me to roll that? No, doesn't matter. So I'll just charge here then. 9. Yeah. So are you in heroic? No, okay. And then
Let's roll that.
yeah. Oh yeah. I'll just shoot that real quick. So assault cannon.
Sorry, I'll transfer.
Yeah, all good. 5. AB2. No cover. Yep, and then the just 1. Okay. I'll charge. I probably won't pick them up because you got 3 left. Yeah, so that's fine. That's yours. And then when I charge in here, yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can. I don't think I can because 9. Because it's got to be. It's like.
You just go 7, right?
Probably. Yeah, actually, yeah, true. Yes. Yeah. Cool. I'll just do that. Let's just say that. Thanks, man. Yeah, come on. No. He, what I thought was going to happen he carved for me to stop the movement. So, and the exploding sixes mitigate pretty well. Yeah. So I'll get a 12. No, 1, 2. Yeah, and that stuff. No one holds that. Yeah, because that lives. Yeah, that was huge. Nice, man. So you get 8, and I'll get control 2 for 2 points at the end, because the captain was doing the action. Oh, sorry, yeah, apologies. Yeah, I'm done. Yep. No, it's not matter at all. No, yeah, true. Yes, sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah. No. Yep. Yeah, you're 15. Shock, you get 12. I'll get 1, 2, 3 more on Codex. Yeah. And no. Yeah. Yeah, 14.
And so 147 minus 44 is 103, so 12. 147 wounds. Yeah, so 130 is max. You got 103. So you get 12 points. Yeah, you needed 30 of the 40, 27 of the 44 remaining. Okay, so I think bonus I get 13, 32, 14, 15, 12, 15, 6, 1, 2, 9, 13, 7, 29, 43, 50, 62, 70. I've got you on 72.
I've got 74, but I'm happy.
Just tell me what you've got for each score.
So primary 8, 444.
Yep, so that's 20.
22221.
Yep, so that's 9.
Yep. So 29.
Yep.
Codex is 14.
Yep.
Banners is 7.
Yep.
And then Nobles is 12.
Yep. So 29.
My bad.
43, 50, 60. Yeah, I still get 72 on that. And I got me at 96. Oh yeah, good game.
Just moving on his stuff was really helpful.
So yeah, 96 to 72. Do you want me to have a chat to you or Sam or anything, or happy to?
You won't be able to hear Sam.
Okay, can we have two people talking once here? Yep.
All right. So that looks like the score's wrapped up. Sam, do you have any comments? We've basically been talking about this kind of score for the last 3 rounds. Okay. We knew Chris was going to confidently get up to around 96 or something based on the moves, and that Will was going to fall somewhere short, but still 72 is the score. If you're willing to, do you have any comments on it? Because I've got Chris here, and I'm just going to ask him a few questions to get him to the game, but because of the audio issues, I don't know if he'll be able to ask any questions. So, do you have any final thoughts on before I cross to that?
No, I just want to say congratulations, Chris. You win the State of Origin today. Maybe come back, and maybe at ANZTC they'll prove their worth. So, congratulations on the win, and I'm keen to hear your insights, Chris.
Yeah. So obviously, I suppose I'll just start by asking. I'm actually really curious for the game. Obviously, we got to watch it go first. What sort of insights do you have on the game playing go second?
So I would have liked to have gone second. Because second better. But it doesn't matter too much because there was a very nice scout squad this by both. I was wondering if he was going to try and knock off that. There's a lot of different ways. Second is just nice matchup. But going first did let me push into that front foot really spread out.
And obviously, that turned to play stunting, shall we say?
Remind me.
Getting the invoice.
Don't remind me.
The final score was 96 to Chris to 72.
Who went first?
Chris.
Yes, sorry.
96 to Chris.
Yeah.
70. Yeah, because
yes, Sky Claw is failing. It certainly happens. Double exploding sixes. I mean, on roll six. Then time to time it's not going to happen. Infiltrators can be tough to kill too with the helix and transhuman. So yeah, that one didn't work out. So that's a shame. But in the future, if the plays did work out, some of the times you go for the healers, line up from back to the second. And that's one of the real big bounties of having scouts needed. If you keep running, don't know why, they're absolutely amazing. They're so good at skill objectives, they do good damage, very cheap. But yeah, so I was able to sort of block off the Terminators charge in, as well as taking this objective, keeping his balance, keeping his
And we also have Will here. Do you have any comments on the game that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I'd just like to say Chris played that brilliantly. His use of the scout speed, like I previously run them, and like there's only a few lists that I'm worried about here. This is one of them because I knew the speed. Yeah, especially doesn't charge as he said. Mitigates the data, but it's a whole like massively. And like, I went for a 9-inch charge on 2 and 4 just to like because if I get it off, I can potentially still project this back and kind of bring it back to the game. Yeah. So he's got to push out banners, and it's 50-50. I failed it. So you're gonna try these things in singles, risky plays, and you just push out after that because I don't know if people know this, but aggressors with auto wounding and rerolls, double exploding sixes actually just roll their Terminators. Where's the auto?
So the Primaris speed roll might.
Yeah, so I ended up with 11 sixes, which is certainly spiking, so I can make up my earlier thing. But yeah, so that was like 11 auto wounds and 22 extra hits.
Killed 7 death.
Yeah, those are the kind of numbers I love to see. I must admit, I do love the land speed attack as a true player, which is in Venom. Don't hold hand right now to scouts in land speeders, both on points and otherwise. But no, fantastic game from both of you. It was an absolute joy to watch because I think everyone views 40k at the moment. A lot of talk about it being a killing matter and everything. That actually wasn't a game of killing. That was a game about moving around and trying. Obviously, there was killing involved, but it was really interesting to see what but they still charge base. It's all about how you. It was an absolute joy.
Thanks for having us on stream, mate.
Not a problem. You're both welcome back anytime you want. Alright, so we're going to cut to a quick break just while everything resets for round 3 and we assign out some new pairings and get back to you as soon as possible. It shouldn't be more than 15 minutes or so by my count, and we will catch you then.